All right, all you procrastinators, enough is enough. It's November and the you-know-what is about to hit the fan. Time to hit up my friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning to get that furnace cranked on and get it winter ready. Dana here. November's also the final tune-up deal of the year at Standard. You can get $20 off your furnace fix when you make an appointment and mention 93X. Yeah, I know we're all hardy Minnesotans around here, and you're probably saving up to buy me a sweet, sweet Christmas gift, but don't roll the dice on your furnace. Time to prep and protect. Book that tune-up today at standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
You gotta be kidding me. Who greenlit this garbage?
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
The Pigs are in New Jersey. The Pigs are at the New Jersey Devil tonight. 6 o'clock game, televised on the FanDuel channel. Let's see what the hell's going on behind the curtain with our local hockey club. Marcus Bellino joining us live from the East Coast. Hello, Marcus.
Good morning. How we doing?
Good morning.
We're doing good, man. Now, first things first, you got to tell us about this calling your teammates and bidding them good night routine that we saw on social. That was very funny.
Not my idea, but it seemed to be what it was called, a TikTok thing going around. So our social media team reached out to me thinking that I'd be the best fit for it, and I think it was guys texting me right after, like, "What? Are you okay? Are you drinking?" It was good. It was good.
They thought maybe you were. They thought maybe you had been drinking.
Yeah. I'm not calling guys saying good night, but I think it was well received. I think Z Buell, our rookie on our team, was shocked that I called him, so I think that was good. It was a good confidence boost for players.
Marcus on the phone. He wants to be friends, I think.
So the rookie sees your number pop up, and maybe he thought he was in trouble for a second, right?
Yeah. I think he texted me after if I wanted to watch a movie, and I said, no, we're not that close yet.
You want to sit down, watch The Notebook or something? Who gave you the most negative reaction when you called them just to wish them good night?
I think I got the most annoying. It was Marco Rossi, but he's not the most joyous person to be around. Like he just he's a very nice person, but he's got some good sarcasm, and he's got some he doesn't take jokes so well. So it was pretty funny hearing his reaction. You could tell he was like, "Thanks, good night." It was simple. So he's still great though. But yeah, there was just some dry humor. Some other guys were just chuckling. Philip Gustafson probably could have been on the phone longer with him talking about God knows what, but glad that ended shortly.
So Phil likes to talk, huh? Oh
yeah, I mean it's riddles and things like that all goalies will bring you into that you don't want to be a part of. But
riddles.
Any particular topics that really get him going? Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I mean, it's more just like useless facts with that guy. It's just things that don't matter. But he's got some facts and some things like that about the world, and I don't want to say it's like that Ilya Bryzgalov thing, but these girls are interesting.
Yeah,
these
they're
goalies are really.
different.
I think we talked about before. He does some things when he plays to calm him down, and I think he doesn't even think about hockey when he's in net. So, but hey, it's been working. So it's as long as he keeps it going.
Yeah, he's done a great job. Goalies are different. Yeah. We all know that they're a little off. Deep thinkers, some of them. Well, that's a fun bit. Randy Shaver, what would you think if we started that up around here, where I'd call you and just to wish you good night every night? Would that?
Well, you better call me around 9:30 because that's about the time I go to bed.
Friggin' unbelievable. You know what we were just talking about, Marcus? We were talking about some interesting fantasy football punishments. Now, interrupt me if we've already asked you this, but when you guys play fantasy football, do you have the elaborate punishments and whatnot for the last place guy?
You know what? I've seen some good ones, which I prefer doing because it's no one. They'll probably make guys want to not fold in their teams early and stuff like that. But we just have where you have to pay double the cost of entry. So
okay.
That's what we do. So the last place has to pay again. So which is tough. And no one wants to pay more. But I like some of the guys I've seen around make guys caddy for them in a golf outing.
Oh, fun.
Which, I mean, that's interesting. And I've seen the one where I think they make a guy go to a bar or restaurant when it opens, and they can't leave until close, and every beer or something they drink knocks off minutes or hours. So.
Yeah, that one's popular now.
Yeah, that one I've seen that one's pretty good. So
next thing you know,
we just keep it simple. The winner gets a nice ring and a trophy, and the loser's got to bring out his wallet again.
Jesus, you got to sit in a bar all day, and I think that's what happened to Mark Sanchez. Really, to be honest with you.
I wonder.
Yeah, that's probably right.
What if this was the punishment? What if you decided, okay, this year, whoever finishes last in fantasy football has to spend the weekend in the worst NHL city? If you were the guy that had to choose, which city would that be?
Oh, geez, you can get me in trouble here.
You know, it's just not the most exciting place in the world, you know?
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking wintertime, I mean, you got to go spend it in Winnipeg, maybe?
Yeah, it's cold out there.
Seattle? I don't know. just a rainy weekend there.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez, I mean.
Well, you're in New Jersey right now, for Christ's sake. I mean, is that a?
Yeah.
Do you like I've heard terrible things.
I don't know. I don't get out enough in the cities, but I mean, New York's just right across the tunnel there, so it's a fun vibe in the city for a couple of days. So I never really experienced this, Jersey and all that stuff.
A couple of our listeners says it's got to be Columbus.
You know what? Just because my brother used to play there, Columbus is actually a sneaky good city.
Cool.
Yeah, fun college town.
Oh yeah, college girls running around. What else is going on around here, Marcus? Back to, we were talking about you calling your teammates and wishing them a good night. Fun prank. It was from an NHL guy that I first heard about the leaner. Is that bit? Still, Is that bit still alive and well in the NHL?
Oh yeah. That's a tough one to go, especially if you have carpet in your front entrance area.
Does everyone know the leaner?
No.
You fill up a garbage can full of water and you just lean it up against the guy's door.
Yeah,
so when
okay.
You go to open it, it spills all around his feet.
Yeah, we did that in the dorms.
I mean, the hotel probably loves it. But yeah, it's one of those things that I've seen a lot of those in my day, and that's a good way of getting someone, especially in the morning, right? First thing in the morning, you ready for breakfast, you get all dressed up and open the door, and you got to deal with that, and you probably have to waste all your towels too to soak it all up. So
awesome,
it's a good one. That's still alive and well.
Mike Greenlay, who did play-by-play here for the Wild in the early years, he played in the NHL. He was a goaltender in the 80s. He was the one who first told me about the leaner, and I thought, wow, that sounds like fun. Knock on the guy's hotel room door, he answers in an entire garbage can full of water. Come on, we got to go. Why the hell didn't we do that when we were in Wisconsin last weekend?
I forgot about it.
Should have done that to Dana.
What? Oh, come on.
Oh, man. Hey, Marcus, we wanted to say how happy we were to learn that things are going well with your brother's family. We read some things about a niece of yours that was having some surgery, and everything's on the up and up. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, no, she's doing great. She just went to Boston Children's last weekend to go through another heart procedure. She was born with a congenital heart defect, and in other terms, it was like a leaky. One of her valves was leaking when she was little. So luckily for us and for her, that doctors in this world are amazing, and there was a doctor out of Boston that was able to perform surgery on Moana when she was really, really young, like a couple days old, and then ever since it's been touch and go with just kind of seeing how she feels and checking in on the valve replacement that they put in, and just need another one that, and as she gets older, it gets a little more serious, and her body's growing, right? So as the body grows and the heart grows, they have to replace this valve every so often. So everything went well. Everything went well again, and thank God for these doctors. And Milana's a very tough girl, very strong person, and only 12 years old, and I think it's her 4th procedure already. So, but when you look at her, you wouldn't know. She's, of course, she's the one with the most energy in her family out of her 2 brothers. So, you want her to be not so active, but she's an unbelievable person and very inspiring. But she's doing great, and Nick is now back with the team and in Chicago. So, really happy, and we're thankful for all the support around the league and everyone that chimed in and prayed and sent their thoughts. And she's doing great now.
That's awesome.
That's good to hear.
That's great.
Awesome to hear, especially when you're dealing with a kid. Speaking of kids,
exactly.
Has the Russian kid been buying drinks on this road trip?
Yeah, there was a dinner or so that was picked up by him. Very nice of him, for sure. But it won't just be one and done. There'll be throughout the year. There'll be a couple.
Of course.
One a road trip.
One a road, yeah.
He should just give you guys all one of his credit cards, to hang on to. Just keep in your wallet, boys.
Go have fun.
Yeah.
I was watching the Ranger game at home the other night, Marcus, and Lou Nanny was doing color commentary alongside Anthony LaPanta. Have you had a chance to jaw jack with Lou off and on?
Oh yeah, many times. He's awesome. He's got all the stories. He's a great guy, and obviously a big fan of hockey and loves the game. And but yeah, he's always a guy I respected since day one, and he's got that presence when he walks in the room, so it's fun. He's a great guy to have on the road trips. He always, he's got a great gig. He always comes on the nice road trips. Florida and New York City. So I was like, Lou, when I'm done, I hope I can do what you're doing. He's got a great little thing he's doing with us. It's awesome.
He's not going to Winnipeg in January.
No, I don't think so. I think he's staying back.
Well, wasn't it cold weather that got Lou to retire from the high school hockey tournament?
Yeah.
Yes.
When he was a couple years ago, he was doing the high school hockey tournament, and his car broke down on the
That's
side of the
correct.
road, 25 below, and he looked in the rearview mirror and said, "What the hell am I doing out here?" What is he, 83 or 84 now, Randy?
He's in that range, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
You're right about that. His car broke down on the way back home from St. Paul, and nobody stopped to help him. And he was like, "What am I doing? Why am I doing this?" So that's why he decided to hang it up.
Unreal.
So
He is the man in this friggin' town.
oh, he is.
When it
There's
comes
no
to
doubt.
hockey, it's Sweet Lou and everybody damn else. Hey, Marcus, good luck in New Jersey. Thanks very
Thank you.
much for chilling with us again, and we look forward to talking to you in a couple of weeks. And, hey, tonight I'll give you a call around 10:30. Make sure you're doing okay.
Perfect.
Thank you, Marcus.
My phone won't be on silent or anything.
See you, bud.
It will be on
Thanks,
time.
guys.
You got it. Hey, Randy Schaber, we finally got you on the friggin' line now. We missed you the first couple days this week. Monday was our fault. We forgot to tell you we had the friggin' – or what did we do wrong?
We forgot to tell him we're going to be on.
We forgot to tell you we were working on Monday because there was some stories going around that we might take Monday off. How'd your pickleball thing go?
It went very well, thank you.
Yeah.
It was a 2-day event at Pints and Paddle, and those guys are awesome. They're great. So we had a great weekend. No issues.
I talked to your wife last night. Don't get any funny ideas. And she said there were no injuries as far as
that's
she
big.
knew. Yeah.
That's big, yeah.
And this is something I've wanted to share with you now for a couple of days. Pickleball is still mangling middle-aged people at an insane rate. The latest is eye injuries. It's not all Achilles tendons and ACLs. Ocular injuries, Cubby. Your aunt and uncle don't have the reaction reflexes they used to, and here comes a 40-mile-per-hour pickleball, and then the eyes fall out.
Nick's wife, Nick's wife said she took a pickleball to save you at the event. Do you remember this? Apparently one came
She
flying
did.
towards you
I
guys.
was standing right next to her when she got bonked on the head. Yeah.
Oh, you got her in the head?
You know that's
Yeah.
supposed to be the other way around. You're supposed to protect the woman.
Well, she's a giving person.
She thinks very highly of Randy.
Yeah, she didn't want anything to happen to Randy. So she didn't tell me it was in the head. Ow.
Yeah, she got bonked on the head, yeah.
So, again, more warnings now for you pickleballers. Sometimes it's the pickleball itself. smokes an old timer in the eye socket, and then the eyes fall. Sometimes, though, they swing the paddle and they smoke their partner.
Yep. Doubles, that can happen quite. That actually, I've seen that happen.
Playing
where people
doubles,
get bonked.
you overswing, you follow through and smoke your partner.
Yeah,
that's why you got to wear the rec specs.
Especially if you have an overzealous partner. That's kind of where it gets to be that. Yeah.
Retinal detachments, fractured eye socket, severe damage to the eyeball itself, bleeding inside the eye are the latest injuries that your aunt and uncle are going to see the doctor over.
Yeah, for sure.
Neither casual players nor professionals are required to wear eye protection when they step on the court.
That is correct.
I've never worn a pair of those Kareem Abdul-Jabbar rec specs.
Sounds like a good idea, though, based on what you're saying.
I wonder if I mean, everyone looks, I think, better in rec specs when they're out there playing ball. But I don't know. I wonder if it would bother me.
All the kids when I growing up, if you were in rec specs, you got roasted.
Yeah, but now that when you were a kid, yeah.
But as a grown as adult, I don't see an issue with it.
Yeah, I mean, for Christ's sake, I look like Kareem, don't I? I mean, it's not bad to look like Kareem. Players 50 and older accounted for 70% of eye injuries in this particular study. Now, this year will be our final event of the Randy Shaver Cancer and Community Fund 93X Half-Fast Morning Show Wayzata Legion Partnership for 20 and 25. We got to give folks a heads up on this. The event goes by the name of Callin' for a Cure. Callin' for a Cure. What we're going to do is sit down and play some damn bingo. This is Sunday, November 9th, and we're calling on the brother and sisterhood to help us hit our goal of raising $20,000. So Sunday, November 9th. The event goes from 3 to 6 p.m. We start with a social hour, Josh's favorite part.
Josh will be there greeting everybody at the door.
We start with a social hour. You check in from 3 to 4. You won't miss the Vikings game. I think the game, they play at noon that day.
Yep.
Then we play some bingo. All jackpots pay out to the winner and the charity. And there'll be a coverall up around $1,000. There'll be a silent auction. There will be food. Giveaways between every game of bingo. You must purchase tickets in advance, so go to 93x.com if you just want to help us out, and we always appreciate the help. If you can't make it there, there's an option to donate $5 to cover materials, so that goes to the cause. We hope to see you there again Sunday, November 9th, Callin' for a Cure bingo. We're going to sit down, have some laughs, have some drinks, play some bingo, and make some money.
I think we're actually going to be calling the bingo numbers, right?
Oh, that's a big responsibility.
I
Don't mess that up.
I screwed that up once, and I barely made it out of the joint alive.
Yeah.
You're right. Who we? Me and you?
I think I am. I think there's some other people that are taking part in that. I think you might be one of those.
Awesome.
But it's I'm not in charge. Your wife is. But I think that's the discussion, is that there'll be multiple people calling bingo games, which will be fun.
That will be fun, but there is pressure.
Yes, there is. There's a right way to do it, and there's a lot of wrong ways to do it.
You don't want to F that up.
I'll donate. I'm not allowed to play bingo anymore, but you guys will get a donation from me.
Why are you not allowed to play bingo?
Because of the incident?
Yeah, well, if somebody says, 69, I laugh out loud.
So do I.
And then when they say anything with an I, let's say I 4, and I go, I also 4, no matter the number. And I do that so often I get kicked out.
Oh, jeez.
I can't stop.
Can you contain yourself when the number 45 is said out loud, or do you have to say 45?
I got to say it.
Yeah, same here. I have
If there's a 67, I have to say 67.
the last South Park episode of that.
Care 11.
Go to our website, go to 93x.com if you want to learn more, get involved, sign up for Callin' for a Cure bingo. Yeah, that'll be fun, Randy Shaver. I'd love to see you up there calling the game.
I'm planning to be there.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been to a bingo event where people don't, where they can maintain their composure if somebody says 69?
No.
Yeah, I have.
There's always a crowd pop.
We were at one. It was all old people, and I was almost 50, and I was the youngest by maybe a decade, and even they couldn't control themselves, especially the 69.
We will try at this event, Josh. We'll try to keep it
on the up and up.
On the up and up. But there's always someone who has to make a smart-ass comment about 69, 45. I used to play with this old-timer, and he pissed everybody off. But he knew what he was doing. Every number that was called. N46, he'd say this. I got it. B7. I got that one, too. That will piss the crowd off a little bit. We'll have a good time.
This person said when 069 is called, his mom will...
No, she doesn't. Tell me she doesn't dump that horrible...
She does.
This is the most...
She said it is gross.
This is the most disgusting line in all of sexual lingo, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a couple, and this one is gross.
What does she say when 069?
You call it first.
My prediction is that she says... You're going to make me say this, Josh?
Well, you just call the 069, and I'll play her role.
I can't say it out loud. 069.
Dinner for two.
Oh, his mom.
His own mother.
I friggin' hate that. That is so gross.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Oh, my gosh.
Thanks, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder.
On that note.
Yes, on that note.
We'll keep talking about the bingo event. We'll get a crowd there. Thanks, boys.
You bet.
Yep.
And we'll be back here in a few minutes.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, all you procrastinators, enough is enough. It's November and the you-know-what is about to hit the fan. Time to hit up my friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning to get that furnace cranked on and get it winter ready. Dana here. November's also the final tune-up deal of the year at Standard. You can get $20 off your furnace fix when you make an appointment and mention 93X. Yeah, I know we're all hardy Minnesotans around here, and you're probably saving up to buy me a sweet, sweet Christmas gift, but don't roll the dice on your furnace. Time to prep and protect. Book that tune-up today at standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com.
AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Kevin Harlan here. This Black Friday, Prime is taking over with an incredible day of live sports. Black Friday football is at the center of it all, with the Chicago Bears taking on the Philadelphia Eagles at 3 Eastern. Immediately after that, it's an exciting Emirates NBA Cup doubleheader. The Bucks will take on the Knicks at 7 p.m. Then the Mavericks will be in LA against the Lakers at 10. It's the final night of knockout rounds as teams vie for a spot in the quarterfinals. And the whole day starts on the links with the Capital One Skins game as 4 elite PGA golfers face off with $4 million on the line. Black Friday game day tees off with the Capital One Skins game at 9 a.m. Eastern. Then it's Black Friday football with the Bears and Eagles at 3. And it all culminates with a doubleheader of NBA basketball. The Emirates Cup action featuring the Bucks at Knicks at 7 and the Mavs at the Lakers at 10. And it's all only on Prime.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
When we were kids, Cubby, my dad used to wake us up by singing to us or by finger drumming on our bedroom doors. He was the original finger drummer in the family.
That's a nice way to wake up.
I'm a finger drummer. I got my skill set from the old man. I learned it from him.
My mom would just start off like whispering. She would try to do it quietly. Hey, Ashley, honey, it's time to wake up. Gosh, and then I would yell back at her.
Yeah.
Like such an a-hole.
Did you snap?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Like, I know what time it is.
I know it's time to get up. God.
10 minutes later, do you know what time it... I didn't. I guess I didn't know what time it was. Sorry, Mom. That's so mean.
With your impending son's birth, you're starting to think back to how poorly you treated your own mother.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I've been thinking about that since I moved out.
Can I do this without... Can you hear that?
Yeah.
That's with the old man. We'd come up to our bedroom doors, and he had an exact rhythm that he would go with. I'm just trying not to break this microphone. It was... And my finger space here is limited, but it was kind of like this. You can't hear it well enough. But I can sing you the song.
Do it.
This was the song when we were little kids. Once we got a little older, he stopped being cute about it. But when we were little kids, this was the song. And I bet you some of you will recognize it. Good morning, it's grand to be on hand. Good morning to you. I believe it was from a musical called possibly Singing in the Rain.
Oh, I've never seen that, but a friend of mine's dad was obsessed with that musical. He used to sing stuff from it all the time.
Really?
I've seen different variations of that song. I've never known like that middle part there. What was it? It said, good morning.
It's
good
grand
morning.
to be on hand.
Yeah, I usually fill it in with whatever I can think of.
So he would very happily sing that to us when we were little kids. Once we got a little older, he'd just crack open our door and say, hey, it's grand to be on hand.
Sometimes I'll sing singing in the rain for whatever reason. I guess when it's raining, certainly that comes to mind. But just if weird songs pop in my head.
I think that's where that came from.
It was. I just looked it up. I thought maybe it was Sound of Music, but you were right. It's Singing in the Rain.
Josh, sing the song that my dad taught you to sing to your family.
Oh, I'll do my best. I can't hear out of one of my ears, so everything sounds really weird.
The ear infection's gotten even worse. Now he can't hear out of one of his ears.
Yeah.
Cat medicine not working?
I think the cat medicine made it worse. I'm coughing up fur balls. I asked my wife for some affection yesterday, and then she gave it to me, and I immediately scratched her in the face for no reason.
Oh, man.
Things have been weird at home.
But now one of your ears are locked up. What was the song? By way through me, I taught you a song. Another song that my dad would sing to us when we were kids, and this was about keeping your body clean.
And I sang it yesterday.
You did?
When I got out of the shower. Who's got the cleanest body in the family? I do, that's who. And then, for whatever reason, when my kids were really young, it would enrage them. Where they'd say, well, no, like my youngest son, for example, is the biggest offender here.
Things got violent?
Well, he's like, no, I've got the cleanest body in the family. And I'd have to say, well, how? Let me ask you something. How's that possible? I just got out of the shower.
If you just got out of the shower, easily you have the cleanest body in the family.
If I had hair, it would still be wet.
Right.
I just got out of the shower, and you've been laying here like a lump the entire time.
Yeah,
I obviously have the cleanest
Talk about
body
an unreasonable argument.
Yes.
I'm going to use the heck out of that. That is so smart.
Yeah, that was, when we were little kids, we were filthy little bastards, of course. You know, we never wanted to bathe. And so the old man motivated us by turning it into a contest. He would come firing out of the bathroom with a towel around his waist after a shower, and he would sing, who's got the cleanest body in the family? I do, that's who. And then me and my brother would say, well, I want the cleanest. So then we would go, what if, it was interesting when we were young, continuing on the topic of sleep. We played the wake up bitch lady to start the show again. And I talked about how we were woken up as kids. My brother simply refused to get out of bed for school. Once we got into high school, especially. He was late damn near every day. He would just refuse to do it. Where I couldn't wait to get to school most days because I loved it so much. Our mother finally gave up on trying to help my brother get out of bed by the time we were in high school. She just said, F you. If you're not going to get up, I'm not going to try and help you anymore. It was fascinating and very strange to me. He would simply refuse to get out of bed. And I would even try. As I'm fully dressed and ready to leave, I would even open up his bedroom door and say, why don't you just get out of bed? He just wouldn't do it.
Did he stay up late?
No, not as late as I did. Hell no. Hell no. He just effing refused to do it. Have you slept through anything significant in your lifetime?
No, luckily.
Nothing?
No, I get anxious about that kind of thing. So I'll set multiple alarms or else I just won't be able to fall asleep. Yeah, thankfully I haven't. I thought I had. We've all mentioned that, and people listening now might have had the same experience where if you're up this early and you have this type of hours, In the wintertime, you'll see it's 5:15, and you realize, I took a nap. It's it's still dark out at 5:15.
Oh, yeah.
You think you slept through work or whatever.
Oh, that gets so confusing.
I've had that panic moment, but thankfully I haven't.
That happened in college once where I slept straight until about like 5 o'clock at night. Went to bed at probably 5 in the morning. Woke up, I'm like, oh, wow, it's still morning. Look, I got a whole day ahead of me. Oh, no, it's Saturday night, and it's 5 p.m. and it's dark in St. Cloud right now. That's a day wasted.
I'm a heavy sleeper once I'm out. And I feel like I'm the best napper that's ever played the game. Career numbers, my career numbers, nap numbers cannot be worse. How do I say that? Can't be touched.
What's your average nap time after the show each day?
Couple hours.
Couple hours?
Yeah, I
Couple
can't
hours.
do that.
I can't either.
I'm the best in the business.
I used to.
Oh, I thought you were like 4 hours, Ashley. I thought you kind of were outrageously long as far as napping.
Before you got
I was
pregnant,
up
you
there.
were.
Yeah, now I can't sleep worth crap.
Before you got pregnant, you were.
Where were you at? How many hours a day?
Yeah, about 3. Yeah, and now that's completely ruined. For example, I woke up at 1:30 this morning, and that was that.
You were up?
Now I'm here. Yep.
So I feel like I'm a Hall of Fame level napper. Once, I don't know, maybe this isn't significant. You tell me. I slept through my graduation. This is just one example. I guess, I am a great napper, but I usually, I can't think of many significant things I've missed because I was asleep. But I did sleep through my graduation at Brown Institute. That's all I can. I mean,
that's not too bad.
No, I mean, who cares,
to you.
right?
Yeah. Thankfully, it wasn't like you slept through an important final or something like that.
No. So, I mean, I remember thinking, oh, God, because they told us, 5 p.m. tonight or whatever, come back to the school, you'll receive your little certificate for completing Brown Institute, the old radio school that used to be here in town. And I think just because I had been burning the candle at both ends for so friggin' long, radio in the morning, school in the afternoon, and then work in the evening, that when I was finally off the hook for one of those things, school, I fell asleep, and it was like my body finally let go of some of the tension or stress that I must have been under. And I slept right through the whole ceremony where they hand you the certificate. I did feel sort of bad about it, but I moved on maybe 10 or 15 minutes later.
Have you ever slept through a significant, dangerous weather event?
No, but back to my old man, he was infamous for that. He could sleep through he slept through the worst thunderstorm I've ever seen in my life.
Dirt Foreman Jesus slept through a tornado.
What?
He woke up and the roof was gone.
Oh, my God.
I always wake up to storms.
Oh, man. Can you imagine? Okay, I'm obviously still dreaming. This is a lucid dream right now.
Dang, dude, you were
The roof is
out.
gone.
That's something.
My oldest, Cam, would, you could pick it when he was like 5, for 5, 6, 7 even. My wife would be able to pick him up by the ankles and he would stay asleep.
Oh, my
He would
gosh.
sleep through anything.
Maybe that's an undiagnosed case of something or another.
Oh, necrophilia. I believe that's what that's called.
Yeah, that's what he's got.
He's got, it's really bad, necrophilia. But he could sleep through pretty much anything. And I don't know if that's still the case. He's moved out for many years now, but he was a very, very deep sleeper.
I believe it was the summer of '86, and you probably can look this up, if you like. The summer of '86, there was a thunderstorm that came through town that dumped, maybe it's still a record amount of rainfall. And it was just a violent thunderstorm. I don't know that there were any tornadoes, but it was a violent, loud thunderstorm. Downpours, like I said, I believe it set records that might still be there. And my brother and I were at my dad's place. He was asleep. I've mentioned this before. He worked his entire life as an over-the-road truck driver. There were some days where he wouldn't go to work, and you're just kind of living on the fly. When do I try and get some sleep? That was the game he always played. When are they going to call me to work? You never really knew. So you needed to sleep on demand. I could never do that, but my dad had that skill. He could just say, I just found out I have to drive to Kansas City in 6 hours. I'm going to sleep. And he'd be out. It was unbelievable to watch, but he had that skill set.
I'm jealous of that.
He had gotten home from the road, and he was beat, and he hit the sack. This horrible thunderstorm came through. How he slept through it, I have no idea, especially when you learn that the rain was so brutal. Our window wells were filling with water, like you fill up a glass of water. And water is cascading into the basement like what was that old movie where the ship tips over? The ship
Poseidon?
Poseidon event, thank you. My brother and I are running around the basement, hollering at each other with buckets, trying to keep. And the storm finally ended. The basement was trashed. It was madness. And an hour later, the old man wakes up and says, "What the hell happened here?" I'm like, "You never woke up the
What?
It was something to see. He truly was skilled in that department. Just I think because
staying awake so long on the road.
Sure, but the thing was, Josh, that he could wake up after being asleep for 8 hours, and then the trucking company would call and say, "We need you at this time." He could go back to sleep.
Oh, really?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd be up.
It wasn't because of exhaustion always. He could just, great, I just woke up, but now I got to go back.
I've been lucky where I can fall asleep pretty much instantly. Unless there's something going on that I'm, thinking, I can't stop thinking about, I can fall asleep pretty instantly. Staying asleep sometimes is a problem.
One of our listeners slept through an earthquake when they lived in California. We've got a fellow Brown Institute graduate listening to the show. I'm a Brown Institute graduate of electronics. That is a drunk Uncle Firefighter Jesus.
Oh, I didn't know they had. I didn't know they had other programs there.
It's been so many years I don't remember, but that place was a lot of fun. It was fun.
It always seemed fun. I wanted to go. It was just so expensive. But
Yeah.
I'd already worked here, so I thought, boy, I should probably learn how to do this, and someday I will. But I was already here I was promotions, and back then, maybe they do now. I guess I'm not sure. It's been so many companies around, but we used to get paid, right? So that was my job. I'd work all these promotions, and I thought I should probably learn how to do other things.
Oh, I'm so
here.
glad that you didn't, because as we both learned, you didn't need to go there.
It was just so expensive.
In order to work here. That was what...
No.
You're told you are, right?
Didn't we have the same experience? I mean,
It's crazy.
Or maybe we did not, because you never went to Brown.
I didn't attend it. I went there for the orientation and just to find out about it.
Where you read the paragraph and they told you that your mispronunciations
No, I never got that far. It was
Okay.
just like a meeting about, hey, here's what we do, here's what we can. Now, here's the thing. Sure, you're working promotions at the station. You're never going to have a career there. You got to move. You got to kind of work your way up from some small towns.
Right.
And then they showed me the tuition. And when we had younger guys come in here and say what they're paying, it was probably twice what they even told me it was going to be. But I thought, wow, I couldn't do that.
I paid for it forever. Yeah. I had very small monthly payments and paid for it forever. And I had a good time, and I met some cool people there. But what I learned was once I got here, and I started working here while I was still going to Brown. And, of course, the people at Brown kept telling me, no, you don't want to start in a major market. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, they told me I was already screwed.
And I would say, well, but I've already been hired. But, I think they got some – when they would plant you in Montana, when they would place you in Montana, that gave them, I don't know, money or some
type of kickback?
Some type of kickback. So they wanted to send you to Montana and South Dakota. I don't know how it all worked, but –
why wouldn't you want to work for a bigger station?
What threw me was when I walked into this place, I thought, well, everyone here must have been educated on some level in broadcasting.
I thought the same thing.
Which wasn't true. I found out that I was about the only one who actually went to a broadcasting school, and I felt like, what the hell did I do that for if everyone else in the building just walked in and said, I'd like to work here? So I felt silly about that. But I remember the first day walking in, so you didn't read the paragraph.
No, it was just kind of like a salesperson, basically, that I talked to.
I went into the school. They sat me down, and then they sent me up to some guy's office. and they handed me an advertisement. Come to Tommy's shoe store for the best in tennis shoes, leisure wear, flip-flops, and casual. And I read, right? And the guy just said, here, read this. And I read it, and the guy said, I had my hopes set on this. I even talked to someone down in the office about the finances of it all. Then I go to the guy's office. He tells me to read this ad. I read it, and the guy says, yeah, it's not going to work.
What?
And I said, what do you mean it's not going to work? He said, yeah, you pronounce this incorrectly. Your S's sound this and that. I don't think this is for you. But what I learned later is that's what they said to everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that was their way to motivate you, or some kind of a mind F. In the end, I had the money, or I didn't have the money, but I was prepared to pay the money, and so they let me in. But the whole thing, thinking back, it was kind of shady. They did everything they could to talk me out of working here.
That's so weird.
And now maybe I should have listened to them. No. But they really did. Like, I've already been hired. No, you can't do that. We'll send you to Dubuque. But I've already been hired here. Weird thing. It was weird in some ways, but I did enjoy myself there.
Oh, geez, Jesus said in Afghanistan he slept through the sirens telling them their base was getting hit with mortars.
Oh, my gosh.
So does that mean you slept through the mortars as well? Man, that guy can sleep.
That's some sleep right there.
Oh, man. We could all use a little more sleep.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, all you procrastinators, enough is enough. It's November and the you-know-what is about to hit the fan. Time to hit up my friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning to get that furnace cranked on and get it winter ready. Dana here. November's also the final tune-up deal of the year at Standard. You can get $20 off your furnace fix when you make an appointment and mention 93X. Yeah, I know we're all hardy Minnesotans around here, and you're probably saving up to buy me a sweet, sweet Christmas gift, but don't roll the dice on your furnace. Time to prep and protect. Book that tune-up today at standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com.
Hi, I'm Drew Barrymore, and I want to tell you how you can help to support the life-saving work of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. When you give, you're helping ensure families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food, so they can focus on helping their child live. This holiday, help St. Jude give children the greatest gift, a chance at a lifetime.
This holiday, help St. Jude find more cures for more children. Donate now at musicgives.org.
Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling take you behind the scenes of one of the greatest shows of all time.
They're Ultimate Rewatch podcast. We're in the midst of season 7, and
hold on. Obviously, we had a very successful television show for 10 years that was Superman based.
But we had to make everyone believe that you were Clark.
I gotta be honest, I was surprised at the end of this episode that I wasn't.
I was too.
Talkville, the Smallville Rewatch podcast.
I'm not sure I knew when I was filming it that I was not me.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Where do most of us get our anxieties over Friday the 13th? From the friggin' movie. If it wasn't for the movies, would you really ever think of Friday the 13th? I know I wouldn't.
No, not at all. I mean, anytime somebody says Friday the 13th, obviously that's the first thing I think of.
You think of the scary movie, the guy with the hockey mask coming out.
Really? That's not what I think of at all. Maybe it was like my parents that taught me that Friday the 13th meant bad luck.
What?
But I don't think of that movie. I think of, I don't know, Cracked Glass, Black Cats. Like that
Walking
movie doesn't really come to my mind.
Well, then F me, Ashley. Is that what you're saying? F me? Well, then F everything that I...
I'm trying to figure out when where I've learned about it then. Maybe it was through school.
It was the movie.
Because I didn't see that until I was, much older.
That's probably why you learned about it in school, is because of the movies.
Actually, I didn't see the movie.
Yeah.
I think the first Friday the 13th movie I saw, I was an adult, but I was very much aware of, maybe I guess Jason wasn't as big in pop culture when you grew up as he was when we grew up. But yeah, I was afraid of those movies before I even saw one.
Somebody got out a pencil and a piece of paper and watched all of the Friday the 13th movies starring Jason Voorhees.
Has anyone here seen all of them?
Not all of them. That's a chore right there.
Yeah, I think I've only seen maybe 2 or 3.
I've definitely seen all of them.
There's some in the middle that are rough.
You've definitely seen all of them.
Yeah.
Well, how many are there?
Oh, I have no clue.
9 or 10?
I just know that when they come out, I make a point to make sure that I see them.
This is your thing, then.
Yeah, I love scary
Friday
movies.
the 13th is your, well, not just scary movies. Friday the 13th is your thing. You always go get a tattoo. You can't now because you're pregnant. And always, keep in mind, no cheese out of a can, no thong underwear.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do on New Year's, but.
Right.
Well, you got to stay away from the deli meat.
You always go get a tattoo on the Friday on Friday the 13th. You've watched all the movies. So I think it's fair to say this is kind of your thing.
Yeah, I'd say so. I guess I kind of, ever since I was a kid, I've played into and tried to. Now I don't have to force myself, but when I was younger, I forced myself to get into anything Halloween or spooky related.
You were born on Halloween. You're way into Halloween. The dark side is your thing.
Yeah, you like this kind of stuff for sure.
It's fun.
Friday the 13th, according to Wikipedia, 12 movies, a television series, novels, comic books, video games, and tie-in merchandise. Is the video game any good? It looked cool.
The original one or the new one?
Oh, I didn't even know there was.
The original one at NES is one of the hardest games ever.
Is it fun, though?
It's fun, and it's also scary because all of a sudden Jason will just pop out of nowhere, and you will die instantly.
Oh, I've never played that.
I've watched a couple of them. I remember Corey Feldman, and I remember Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon was in the first one. I want to say Feldman was in the fourth.
The strangest one I saw, and again, I've very limited experience, is the one where Jason goes to space. and I know that one of the kills is on this coming up list here, and I'll never forget that.
So,
and then I liked the Jason versus Freddy movie way more than I thought I would.
Oh, that was fun. Because they kind of leaned into the campiness of it all. They didn't take it too seriously.
Yeah. Did you see that, Nick? I'm wondering if you'd like that.
All I ever saw from the movie Jason Takes on Freddy, all I ever saw was the closing fight scene. And it is one of the greatest fight scenes in movie history.
Where they're on the dock?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that scaring me, that movie.
Well, you were probably 9.
Yeah, when I was a kid, obviously. It was probably one of the first ones I watched.
Somebody pulled me aside once and said, I know you're not into horror movies. I specifically think Freddy Krueger is just one of the dumbest movies. Anyway, someone pulled me aside and said, you got to at least try this fight scene and tell me what you think. And I loved it. So anyway, some dork, some poor bastard, unfortunate bastard, sat down with a sheet of paper and a pencil and watched all of the Friday the 13th movies, and then noted the weirdest weapons that Jason Voorhees used to kill folks in the movies. Okay, these are the weirdest weapons. Usually, what's he got? An axe?
Machete?
A machete. That's right, it was a machete, right?
Yep.
Well, I mentioned Jason X when he goes to space, that liquid nitrogen scene. That one I'll never forget, where he freezes. I think it was a lady's face. I can't remember. Somebody's face. They get off, and then he smashes the head against a control board of some sort, and the head just shatters into pieces.
There would have been a major controversy if that did not make this report. It did.
So again, I have limited experience, but I'll never forget that. Any movie I've ever seen, that was one of the most bizarre things.
I would have appreciated that death more, where he freezes them and just shatters them, if it wasn't just a complete ripoff from Mortal Kombat. That was Sub-Zero's fatality. He'd freeze them and then shatter them.
Oh yeah, I never even considered that.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. I like Sub-Zero.
Liquid nitrogen. Right, Josh. Liquid nitrogen. All right. Here are the other weirdest weapons that Jason used to kill folks dead in his famous movie series. An ice pick. I don't know what's so weird about that. What does it say here? It's the only time, in Friday the 13th Part 2, he uses an ice pick. And I guess what's unusual about this is it's the only time he used an ice pick in all the series, in the totality of this. Help me, Josh. How do I say that?
Yeah,
in the history of the series, it's the only time.
It's unique weapon choice.
It's an isolated murder.
Yeah.
That kind of freaks me out. And getting, like in, was it Basic Instinct, the ice pick thing for whatever reason. This stabbing has always affected me way more than like getting shot or something like that.
Oh, I think that's damn near everybody.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, we talk about it all the time, but that scene in Saving Private Ryan, I got to fast forward through that. I can't watch that.
I don't like that one. Jason used a knitting needle at one point or another, and it was in 3D.
Oh, the 3D one was so cheesy.
Was the 3D just terrible?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And they kept, like, doing things intentionally, like, to make, like, it look like 3D effect. Like, oh, I'm going to, move this stick, like, right towards the camera. Whoa!
I had a migraine after that movie.
Pass me that foot-long sandwich,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And then the sandwich heads right towards the camera, and everyone in the crowd goes, whoa!
Sandwich coming at me.
But that was during the mid-'80s. I'm going to go, help me out. When did Part 3 come out? 85, 84?
Right in that wheelhouse, yeah.
And some of you are too young, but there was a big resurgence in 3D movies during the early to mid-'80s. Everybody was trying it again. It became trendy again. I went to a movie theater to see a 3D movie during that time period because I had to give it a shot. My folks told me they used to watch 3D movies in the 50s. You should try it. So I went and saw a movie called The Treasure of the Four Crowns. And it was in 3D, and it was a terrible movie. It was just awful. But it was kind of cool.
Did you see Jaws 3D?
No. Well, not in maybe it was on regular.
So you're not with the glasses? I've never seen a 3D movie.
Oh, they make me so sick.
Oh, I take that back. Avatar, was that not in 3D?
Yeah.
Okay, I saw that one.
So, yeah, in every 3D movie, they intentionally had little effects where things were coming straight at the camera.
Yeah.
Okay, what other unusual weapons did Jason use in the series to end the lives of his victims? He's electrified someone in a fuse box. He killed, another famous actor that I remember from the Friday the 13th movies. Jason killed Crispin Glover with a corkscrew. Mm-hmm. He killed someone with a tree. Do you follow? I'll tell you how he did that. He picked somebody up, I believe, by their feet and swung them into a tree like he was swinging a baseball bat.
Nice.
Guy's versatile.
And it left a bloody smiley face on the tree.
Of course it did.
He killed a gal with a party horn. You mean like a sarcasm horn?
I was picturing one that unrolls.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but that's when you say party horn, that's what I picture. When you blow into it, it unrolls.
Yeah, they have them at kid parties.
Oh, I guess I don't know what a party horn is. I think you're right, Josh. Well, how does he do here? Oh, yeah, he kills someone with a party horn to the eye.
Ouch.
He used a tree trimmer. He used an electric guitar. There was some character.
I bet it made a funny sound, like the twang, like in the cartoons.
In one of the Friday the 13th, there was a musician that he needed to kill, so he killed her with her own guitar. He cooked somebody with some sauna rocks. Well, he stole that from. He stole that move from the Toxic Avenger. I'm going to call Jason out on this one. He stole that bit from the Toxic Avenger. Toxic Avenger picked up a gal that he didn't like and sat her naked bottom, very attractive lady, who shunned the Toxic Avenger and made fun of him, right? So he needed to get revenge. She was very hot. He picked her up and he sat her naked bottom on the hot sauna rocks, and then he looked in her eyes and said, "Here's something for you, hot ass."
Ouch.
That's what the Toxic Avenger. So Jason also murdered somebody with a deep fryer.
That's gross.
Seen that death a couple times in movies. Those are fun.
That's always affected me, too.
A giant drill. And for you folks out there in Wisconsin, in one of the Friday the 13th movies, Jason Voorhees killed somebody with deer antlers.
That could get the job done.
He threw some deer antlers out a window and they stabbed into somebody's body and killed him on the spot. That's terrible. His behavior is questionable.
Somebody, these texts are coming in so fast. I wish I could give this person credit. They text in about a sleeping bag where somebody's in a sleeping bag. Jason lifts up that person in the sleeping bag, and Jason beats to death another person with the person in the sleeping bag. I just looked it up. It looks like that was in Friday the 13th, Part 7.
The poor bastard in the sleeping bag was being used as a weapon to kill other...
He was charged with accessory to murder. I mean, the cops went after this sleeping gentleman.
Who was in that? Was it Squeaks? Was he in the sleeping bag?
I think it was.
Was it Squeaks? Did I get the right name from basketball?
I think it's Squeaks.
Squeaks.
Yeah, Squeaks.
Boy, he put up with a lot, didn't he?
He did.
Oh, man.
Well, he couldn't get a chick if he had a $20 bill hanging out of his zipper.
Yeah.
Man, did he take some crap.
I swear to God, if you guys rip on me 4 or 5 more times, I'm out of here.
I got to find that clip.
All right, now we got to just, for a minute, let's revisit basketball and the character Squeaks. The scene where he's sleeping in a dresser drawer. I will never forget the scene where he is sleeping in a dresser drawer. Okay, now I don't want to confuse things. Remember the story, Josh, about this old timer I used to drink with? He's gone now, unfortunately, but he and I were sitting side by side at a Legion one night, and a gal walks up to him and says, she was probably in her mid-40s, maybe 50s, and she says to the old man, she says, Are you Donnie? And he says, yeah, who's asking? And she goes, well, I'm Missy Bergenhofen St. John. My family grew up next door to you. You follow what I'm saying there?
Yep.
I know it was difficult because I put it so poorly. She said, I grew up next door to you. I was a little girl when you were living next door to us. And he said, well, oh, yeah, okay. And he says, how's your family? And she says, well, Mom and Dad are gone. And you probably remember my older brother, Gary. He's passed on now as well. And my sisters, Susie and Stacy. One of them caught this and the other caught that, and they've passed away. And, my other brother that was a little older than me, Richie, he recently died. So, but it's really good to see you again, Donnie. And Donnie says, well, yeah, you too. You better watch yourself. And he walks away.
Honestly, though.
Yeah. And she was left dumbfounded. You better watch yourself.
He's got a point.
In the 60s, I made love to many, many women, often outdoors, in the mud and the rain. And it's possible a man slipped in. Would be no way of knowing.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
What are some of the things you've done to completely avoid someone? So you're trying to avoid even getting into a conversation with that someone.
I pretend I'm talking on the phone a lot. Like, a lot.
So give us a scenario, like you're at a bar, you see someone walk in that you don't want to communicate with, and you'll pick your telephone up out of your pocket and pretend like you're talking into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
if it's mostly like if I'm out at the store, out and about, and I see someone out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, oh, they're definitely going to see me. I don't want to have this awkward conversation. I'll just pick up, oh, hi. Oh, hey, Mom. Yeah, just at Target. Strolling through the grocery aisle.
Will you at least wave to that someone?
No.
No,
I'm completely engulfed in my phone call.
In your phone call.
Yes.
So you don't even have the phone to your ear and just ignore. Hey, to the person you don't want to talk to. Hey, how you doing? I wish I could talk right now, but you don't even do that.
No.
By the way,
they'll see him on the phone.
It's funny. I just saw an episode of Malcolm in the Middle the other day where Dewey was in trouble for something, and he picked up the home phone and pretended he was having a conversation with someone to avoid his brothers or his parents, and they bought it until the phone rang.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst.
I'm so afraid of that happening.
I never considered that. That'd be hilarious. If I see you doing that, I'm calling you. I'm going to test that out.
Feel free to text us. What are some of the things you've done to avoid somebody, whether you know they're a pain in the ass or you just don't want to engage in the first place? My dad used to have a system when he was driving truck You know, a lot of days he would just sit at the house waiting for that telephone call from dispatch that would send him out on the road. He would usually get called in at night. You know, hey, we got a 1 a.m., we got a 4 a.m., you know, that kind of a thing. So during the day, he would just sit there, watching television, waiting for the phone to ring. And there were certain people that would stop by, knowing that he usually was sitting there doing nothing during the day. There were certain people who would stop by. Some folks he loved when they stopped by. Others he did not. So there were times when I was at the house with the old man, and a car would pull into the driveway, and he knew it was driven by someone he did not want to engage with in this moment. So I never saw the man move so fast. He would jump out of his easy chair and go dive into bed and pretend like he was asleep. And then he would ask me, hey, tell him I'm asleep. That was his thing.
I hid behind a stairway once at my house.
Obviously, being at home was a big benefit to him. He had an escape route. What was that now?
I hid behind a stairway once at my house because there's a kid that comes over all the time. And when he comes over and, you know, my son's not around, he wants to talk forever. And so if I'm in the middle of working, you know how it is, like you're kind of doing your thing and you don't want to get out of that mindset. So I saw him once. I'm like, oh, no, I can't. I'm in the middle of this. I got to get this done. I got to get this to this person, whatever. And
You're a grown man.
Yeah, and I felt like a moron. And he stays there forever. So I'm standing behind a staircase going, what am I doing? This is so stupid. But at that point, I committed.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
You saw him walking up the driveway. Yeah. You ran behind the staircase, allowed him to ring the doorbell 7 or 8 times, and you just stayed motionless.
Yeah, because my little home studio's upstairs. I'm like, well, I'm trapped on the stairs now. And
hilarious.
The stairs face the front door. There's nothing I can do. I got to just sit there for a couple minutes.
Even if your son's not home, the kid wants to talk to you?
Yeah, you know, he likes to gab. And
Man, that's nuts.
I love the kid. He's one of the greatest kids in the neighborhood. But at the same time, sometimes, you know, when you're in the middle of something going, this isn't going to be a quick, hey, sorry, he's not home, and then he takes off. This is going to take a while.
That's kind of adorable. He just wants to have a little conversation with you. That's what?
So you're busy is why you don't want to engage with this kid. If you have free time, we already discussed how you can talk until you drop unconscious. If you have free time, I bet you and this kid could set some kind of a world record.
Oh, we do pretty well.
Yeah.
Like he'll walk, if he's like yesterday, he saw me mowing the lawn and he walked over and we talked for a while.
Yeah. How long is a while? 45 minutes?
No, like 15 minutes.
Is he like a 50-year-old soul?
He is. You know, he actually seems to almost prefer adults. And he's a really bright kid. So, you know, he'll talk about, you know, whatever. Stuff that kids don't want to talk about.
What was your personal record from a while back where you came home from work, and I believe, no surprise if you know Josh's life, no surprise there was some kind of a work crew working at your home that day. Remember this, Josh?
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You said hello to this work crew, and then how much time passed before you were done talking to them?
This was actually a guy coming out for an estimate on our roof after a big storm.
So he was a complete stranger.
Complete stranger.
Yeah.
And we clicked. Super cool guy. And all of a sudden I realized, like, I missed dinner, everything. It was like 3 hours in my driveway.
Oh, my God.
Come on!
Yeah, that one set a record.
Oh, my God.
The most extreme thing I've ever done to avoid a conversation was a canvasser for a political person who walked up my driveway, and I was, like, trapped. I was sawing some stuff, and I'm in the middle of it, so I'm like, oh, no, what am I going to do? I pretended I didn't speak English. I felt like a complete dick afterwards because the guy knew I spoke English. But I said, I'm sorry, I don't understand a word you're saying. I speak zero English. And he kind of looked at me and then walked away.
My dogs help me out if anybody ever comes to my house because, I mean, all 3 of them just go absolutely ballistic. So the people that ring my doorbell, I mean, they're already getting me in a bad mood. And they usually understand, like, okay, yeah, we've got maybe like 10 seconds to tell this girl what we want.
Here's a listener who says he and his wife also have a code word between the two of them when they need to be extracted from those conversations or situations. Good call.
Where was this text? I got to find this again. Oh, up at the crack of dawn, Jesus. Ever since COVID, If I see someone walking toward me I don't want to talk to, I fake a coughing attack.
No, that's smart.
They've got a quiet room at Medical Device Jesus' work. And so when people want to avoid conversations, they just go in there with their laptop and do their thing.
I would spend the whole day in there.
Yeah, that would just be my office.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, I've heard from people that work like in a corporate environment, which we kind of do here.
Yeah.
Where they say they just don't get any work done because, people will come up, they talk about this or that, and then they're just kind of stuck, not avoiding work, but they just can't get to it.
A friggin' quiet room where no one's allowed to say dick. That's really, simple yet brilliant. I can't think of... I suppose I don't think I've done anything really elaborate to avoid someone, unless I'm forgetting something. But we've all been in that situation where you're sitting in the neighborhood bar and here comes Dinkus, and you just don't have the energy for Dinkus on that particular evening. So I suppose now that I'm thinking about it, I will act really engaged in the ball game.
Yeah.
Where suddenly I'm, commenting out loud, where otherwise I would normally watch the game in complete silence. Suddenly I'm going, "You call that a strike? Come on, that's on the outside." And then maybe I'll engage in conversation out of nowhere with someone in order to make myself appear busy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really engaged in the game, or suddenly I really want to talk to this guy to my left to avoid Dinkus, who just walked into the bar. I can't think of anything dramatic.
A couple of people are saying if someone comes to their door and they don't know them, they don't answer it. And that's usually, I'm the same way for the most part. There was one time at my last house, like the little room with my computer was right next to the front door, like a big window right there. So I'm basically sitting next to the person with some glass in between us.
They can see you sitting there
easily.
as they're walking up your front step.
And I'm sitting right next to the window. Right next to it. So you can see everybody at the front door. And a guy walked up. And again, I was kind of in the middle of work. And I'm like, I don't know this guy. I'm not going to. We had so many solicitors in that neighborhood. I'm not even going to answer. And he's kind of staring at me. And I kind of glanced at him and then went back to what I was doing. Well, the next day, my wife came home and said, "Hey, was there a guy with glasses that came to our door last night?" And you basically looked at him and then looked away and didn't answer the door. And I started laughing. I'm like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "How would you know that?" She said that he showed up at her work. Apparently, he was somebody serving papers. Her workplace was getting sued. And so he wanted to serve my wife and a bunch of other employees' papers. So I avoided that for an evening.
I felt like an idiot the other day too, Josh, because our neighborhood, we've gotten a lot of solicitors recently, and I always just try to avoid them. I just, kind of duck down on the couch, pretend like I'm not there. Doorbell rang, and I'm like, I'm not answering that. I don't care who it is. All of a sudden, knock, 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 knock on the door. I'm still just avoiding it. Then a third knock, knock, knock. I finally get up. I'm kind of like, what the hell do you want? It was a guy delivering a huge flower arrangement for my wife.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, I will take these inside, good sir.
That was very sweet of whoever sent them.
Exactly.
What's that now?
Ninja Turtle Nutcase Jesus usually just pretends he can't hear people. Or he'll put headphones on with no music so people think that he's listening to music and he can't hear them.
At home, like at work?
He said at work,
At work, yeah. Put the headphones on. I'm listening to... Here are some other ways people have avoided someone. Crawled under a restaurant table. That's a little extreme.
I wonder if that's one of those panic moves, just like the staircase for me, where immediately go, I am so stupid. It's going to be so much worse if they see me.
I'm in my 40s or something, and but we all know someone who's that bad. And a lot of times, these people, they don't mean any harm. They're just too damn much. Way too. I once laid flat in the back seat of my own car to avoid an old coworker. Oh, God, no.
Can't do it today.
They came to the window.
You freeze and just remain motionless. Pretended to be asleep because someone from high school sat down across from me on a bus or something. Pretended to be asleep. My damn. At a family event, I climbed out a bathroom window. Good, to avoid talking to my cousin.
HVAC/R and stuff, jumped off a boat once. Somebody else said that if they're operating the boat, they'll pretend they can't hear folks over the engine noise or the motor.
Yeah. Someone jumped off a boat?
Yeah.
What is there any details there?
No.
Oh, come on. Give us more on that. You jumped off a boat. Ducked into the photo booth at the mall and pretended to take pictures in there.
That's cute.
Nobody goes into the photo booth at the mall.
Better than Dana at Mario Kart Jesus says when he's shopping at Sam's Club, he will take the long way around the store to avoid talking to the vendors. Wait, we got smoothies.
Hid behind a rack of pool noodles at Walmart when I saw one of my coworkers I didn't want to talk to. There's not a lot of places to hide on the boat, Josh. I mean,
maybe the bathroom.
Maybe the bathroom.
I've used the bathroom as an excuse to get out of conversations like that.
What you mean, like you got a code brown, or I got to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, I'll be right back. I go to the bathroom. Then you just don't really ever come back.
Yeah, I've been able to abuse that quite a bit.
Fake telephone calls. That's great. You got to do what you got to do. I mean, like I said, we all know that person where as soon as they walk into work or walk into the bar or walk into a house party, you say to yourself, here we friggin' go.
Is this true? This person says, I once had a coworker who jumped out of a moving car at 45 miles per hour just to get out of talking to his wife. Well, we've certainly heard stories like that.
I know a guy who jumped out of him. Anyway, I don't know if it was because of his wife, but he jumped out of a moving car.
Somebody slammed the door in the face of some folks that came and talked about religion. I got stuck doing that a couple weeks ago. Couple really nice ladies. They showed up at the door, and I thought, oh, maybe they're lost or something. And they're like, hey.
They never
are. Well, they weren't.
They're never lost, are they? They know exactly where they are.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we just wanted we're showing, kind of walking around the neighborhood, and we're praying with people today.
Oh, no.
Did you have a good pray?
And I thought, uh-oh. And they're like, we'd like to say a prayer with you. And I thought, well, why not? And then they're like, well, what would you like to pray about? And I'm like, well, I'm really getting put on the spot here. And then there was one lady that was very nervous. Another one was kind of running the show. So they were probably training in this religious lady. And they're flipping through scriptures and stuff. They picked a couple. We did a couple of prayers, and that was that.
You really went along with it?
Wow.
Well, what was I going to do?
Well, probably what I did like 2 weeks ago. I had the same thing happen. And like I said, my dogs go crazy. I didn't answer the door. And they decided to ring the doorbell again. If I don't answer the first time, what are you doing? And so I went out there and what? And
what do you want?
And they started like their little spiel. And they were also like way too close to my door. I could barely open my door. I was like, would you just like to come in at this point?
Yeah.
And I was just like, nope, I'm good. Bye.
Yeah.
Shut the door. I did feel a little bad later about it, Josh.
Of course you talk to him, Josh. I mean, that's how you're wired.
Bad timing. Jesus had the same folks stop over. And he answered. Wait a minute. Okay, I'll read it. Once chased off some of those religious folks with a shotgun when they wouldn't take a direct "get the F off my property" as a hint. I'd take that as a hint if you said "get the F off my property."
Jesus, criminy. Now he's waving around a shotgun. These people were quite relentless.
He was having a day.
Back to Jesus faked sign language to avoid a solicitor.
Do you ever consider putting a sign on your door that says "No solicitors"? Now,
I was just going to ask about that. Is that douchey?
Douchey?
Yeah.
Why would that
make you seem like kind of an a-hole?
I did that at my last house.
Okay.
And it didn't make a difference.
Didn't make a difference? They still come up anyway?
It made no difference whatsoever. It was crazy. A few times a week, somebody would come by doing something.
Oh, really? We put a "No solicitors" sign on our door, and we haven't had anyone walk up there in months.
See, I've always
Sorry, Ashley, go ahead.
I've always wanted to do that, but I was telling my fiance I want a sign that says, like, "No solicitors unless you're a Girl Scout," or something along those lines. But he was like, that might look a little weird.
In which case, put on these handcuffs and go downstairs.
I suppose not knowing the resident, not knowing the inhabitants of that property, it might look really weird for a sign to say "No solicitors unless you're a Girl Scout." Yeah. Well, and the Girl Scouts are thinking, well, who the hell's in there?
Milk Harvester Jesus recommends next time the religious folks show up, I just throw out a couple of Hail Satan chants, and they'll go away.
Why not? Why not? They're on your friggin' property. They're bothering you. Boy, the Jesus freaks are really on the loose, it sounds like, lately. Josh, when I first moved into my current house, as you know, all of yous, Ashley, I'm wondering if you had this experience. A couple people came to the door to welcome me to the neighborhood. Did you have that experience in Coon Rapids? Probably not. They're not very friendly in Coon Rapids.
No, it was more of like a backyard over the fence meet and greet.
I had one of those too. But a couple folks came to the door and said, hey, just wanted to say hello. I'm Donnie. I'm down this way, right?
That's sweet.
So I had that in mind maybe 2 or 3 days after I moved in, and the doorbell rings, and there's this old lady at the door. And I figured, oh, this old lady's in the neighborhood. She wants to welcome me to the... So I open up the door, and she did say, I'm Louise, whatever her name was. I want to welcome you to the neighborhood, and I want to give you this. And she handed me a card. And I said, oh, thanks a lot. Thank you for welcoming me to the neighborhood, welcoming me. And goodbye, shut the door. And I thought inside the card it would be a welcome to the neighborhood card. Inside the card was a Jesus is gonna get you doomsday card. I mean, it was an invitation to her church, I believe. This is, 7 or 8 years ago now. But it was all kinds of rhetoric about how if I do not straighten my life out, I am going to roast like a pig on a spit. It was the darkest religious material I'd ever seen in my life. And I thought, wow-wa-wee-wa. We've got one in the neighborhood, everybody. We got one.
More anxiety than Hair Jesus has a no solicitor sign on their front door, and it does not work. Yeah, I added a mat to it as well that just said, nah, we're good. No soliciting, please. And that didn't make a difference either.
Well, I wonder why. I mean, what the hell's wrong with these people?
I don't know. I was shopping for one the other day because, like I said, we've been getting hit a lot lately by door knockers. There's some real sassy no soliciting signs out there you can buy.
Well, yes, something like Josh. I'm sorry. The dude who was waving around a shotgun, he directly said, get the F off.
Get off, yeah.
There are doormats that will say, get the F off my property. Yeah, but they're a little more than just sass. I mean, it's pretty direct if you want to go that route.
Black Cop Jesus said, as a cop, I sometimes pretend to get a call and talk into the radio to avoid talking to people. Oh. And there's a couple of firefighters who text in and said, yeah, I pretend I'm getting a page and I got to run to a fire.
Great to have that option. I
thought of another one I have done, and this one gets you out of it easy when they say, hey, are you the homeowner? And I say, no, we're renting. Oh. And then they walk away at that point.
Oh, dude, that's so smart. How come I never thought of that?
Sometimes it's always the simplest things that'll get you out of trouble. Good call, Cubby.
Somebody else said that they say, it's kind of you caught us at a bad time. The house is getting foreclosed on. He said that one gets people away, too.
Yeah. One more time?
You just say the house is being foreclosed.
Oh.
Mentally drunk but not physically drunk, Jesus said, we have a sign that says no solicitors unless you're selling cookies or popcorn.
Oh, see, yeah, something like that would be perfect.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I can live by that motto.
True.
Yeah, well, we'll see how you do Friday, Josh. But remember.
I love it. I mean, I'm not excited to sit in a chair for an extended period of time.
I'm jealous of you.
But I definitely enjoy this.
It's going to be so much fun when you're doing the Cuck King routine. How come you can't have a positive attitude about being the Cuck King?
Well, it's a funny bit, but what's bothering me is having to sit there for so long. Just sit there.
Oh, the line of people wanting to come up and meet the Cuck King's going to be around the boat.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, I do.
I think they'll be moving right past me to the bar.
So we'll see how you do Friday, and keep in mind, you can always go back to the old reliable bit. I'll tell you, I'll help you, like I always try to. And I'll tell you, look, bro, Wade's on the telephone. He's got to talk to you.
And I appreciate the longtime listeners that remember we used to have a bit. Back in the day, folks wanted to do radio interviews, and that's not quite the case anymore, right?
Oh, and we're in the same boat. We don't want to do radio interviews anymore either.
No, and trust me, I'm not complaining about that.
No.
But, I mean, like, back, in the day, you could get a band, you can get an actor, something like that. But, they'd rather do a podcast, which I totally understand because they can do that at 6 p.m. or whatever. And it's big stars that they're talking to. So a few folks have texted in and said, remember when you have an interview and it just wasn't going well and we just didn't like it and it was obvious there's no chemistry. We just always say, well, Whitesnake's coming in studio, so we got to let you go.
Yep.
And then after a while, it just shortened to us starting with the riff doing the Still of the Night.
We would just play Whitesnake.
And then, listeners would understand exactly what's going on.
Listeners would know that we have lost
We're tired of this.
Yeah, we've lost our patience with this person. And yeah, I mean, if you weren't paying full attention 20 years ago on this show, a few of our listeners must have been saying to themselves, how often do these idiots have to have Whitesnake in studio? Why is Whitesnake the house band for this friggin' radio station? But that was our go-to bit.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, all you procrastinators, enough is enough. It's November and the you-know-what is about to hit the fan. Time to hit up my friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning to get that furnace cranked on and get it winter ready. Dana here. November's also the final tune-up deal of the year at Standard. You can get $20 off your furnace fix when you make an appointment and mention 93X. Yeah, I know we're all hardy Minnesotans around here, and you're probably saving up to buy me a sweet, sweet Christmas gift, but don't roll the dice on your furnace. Time to prep and protect. Book that tune-up today at standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael Strahan, and St. Jude has been close to my heart for many years. Their groundbreaking research is changing how the world treats childhood cancer and has helped push the survival rate in the U.S. from 20% to more than 80%. Please, help St. Jude give children the greatest gift, a chance at a lifetime.
This holiday, help St. Jude find more cures for more children. Donate now at musicgives.org.
Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling take you behind the scenes of one of the greatest shows of all time.
They're Ultimate Rewatch Podcast. We're in the midst of season 7, and
hold on. Obviously, we had a very successful television show over 10 years that was Superman based.
But we had to make everyone believe that you were Clark.
I gotta be honest, I was surprised at the end of this episode that I wasn't.
I was too.
Talkville, the Smallville Rewatch Podcast.
I'm not sure I knew when I was filming it that I was not me.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Our dreams are looking to kill us dead, and it has nothing to do with that jag-off of Fred Krueger. Don't even start with that. Who here has a lot of nightmares? I usually have a real keeper. I don't know, once every 3-4 months or something, I'll have a real deal nightmare.
I've never had an actual nightmare. It's more like stress dreams, and it very infrequently. I almost never remember dreams.
That's friggin' fascinating
Either
to me.
weird or stress dreams.
Let me get back to that. Ashley, you said you have a lot of nightmares.
Yes, I do. I guess at least like 2 or 3 a week.
2 or 3 a week, a nightmare where you go, God, help us, what was that? Oh, God.
Or wake up crying, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think a huge part of it, though, recently is just the hormones.
Okay, so this isn't a regular thing for you, your whole life.
I guess I probably averaged 1 a week when I was, before I was pregnant. Yeah, it was pretty common. I think I'm a really stressed out person, and it really bleeds into my nightmares.
Dana, nightmares.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Big time.
Oh, yeah, you get...
Don't you have night terrors?
Night terrors.
Yeah.
I have occasionally. I haven't had them recently, thankfully. Knock on wood. I'll probably now come back. But yeah, I occasionally get the night terrors where like I wake up screaming, or I'm screaming in my sleep, and if I'm with somebody, like if I'm sleeping next to my wife, she has to wake me up.
Jesus,
Ashley,
Paul.
you've had sleep paralysis.
Yes, that is the worst thing ever.
Well, then you two might be in trouble. Josh, tell me about. You really say you've never had a nightmare, just a stress? What do you mean by that, a stress dream?
It's always like a work-related thing where something's not, like something's broken, which nowadays I don't have to be asleep for that, but something's broken,
okay.
Something goes wrong on the show.
I think
a bad show.
Folks understand the difference, I think, and I know exactly what you mean.
But not like you've had dreams of stabbings.
Yeah.
And I haven't had something like that,
In your entire life. You're 50 now, aren't you?
50,
You've never had those dreams where it's just bloodthirsty?
If I did as a kid, maybe, but I don't remember. As an adult, I haven't.
All of you are way more interesting on this topic than I anticipated.
I've had the one where you show up in your underwear. You go to class, or the one where you forgot to study for a test. I've had that before.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty of work dreams. You and I talk about our work dreams.
Yeah, work dreams, if I have one, Like I had a weird one last night about a guy coming to town, one of the corporate guys we really like. I had a weird one about him, but nothing sexual. No surprise analingus or anything like that. But outside of that, I almost never remember my dreams.
Wow, I have at least 3 or 4 that are just permanently ingrained in my brain because of how much they messed me up.
There's only 2 that I remember, and one I've discussed many times on the show. There are 2 dreams that I've had in my lifetime that I still remember every detail of. One was the Tom Brady dream. I think I had that dream, 20 years ago, and I still remember everything about it. The other was a dream that I had when I was a little kid. Maybe I can maybe tell you about that later. But real quick, a new study in England found that people who have a lot of nightmares are more likely to drop dead.
Oh, wonderful.
Sweet. What were you saying, Cubby?
The dream that a young man will have that's significant to a young man?
Sure.
I remember that one.
What do you mean?
I remember the dream I was having the first time that ever happened.
First time you had a wet dream?
Yeah, I remember it. And it was very odd.
Tell us about it.
I'm a little scared, too, because it was weird. I was in a circus tent.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the guys that was running this thing had a hot wife.
Yeah.
And I remember a feeling, a tingling, and it just kept growing and growing like Pinocchio when he tells a lie. And that was my dream, and I woke up and...
You dreamed... By the way, was the hot wife you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Was her husband like a big Italian guy?
He was.
I've had that exact same dream.
Are you serious?
Yeah, her husband was a big Italian guy.
Yeah, was she very tall?
Yeah. I've had the exact... I'm kidding with you.
I was going to say,
I believed you.
No.
The look on your face was very believable.
I'm a great actor. So in your dream, your penis was growing like Pinocchio's nose.
Yeah, it just wouldn't stop.
And then when you woke up, you had messed yourself.
That's correct.
But there wasn't any actual sex? You
Nothing
were just
at all.
Under a circus tent with a giant boner. An Italian man and his wife were watching you get a boner that continued to grow, and then you woke up.
That's exactly what happened.
I've had that exact same dream.
Get out of here. Did you really?
I have not had that,
Oh, my,
no.
you got me again.
Twice. I got him twice, Ashley.
He hasn't been back to the circus since.
You remember that dream?
I do remember that one.
Confused. You were confused when you
totally.
woke up.
And I was so grossed out with myself. I was ashamed.
Oh, I felt so guilty, Josh.
Oh, you know what made it worse? It was at a sleepover.
Oh, no.
And I was lying on my buddy's floor, and I woke up, and I was so embarrassed. And I'm like, what do I do here? I don't know what to do.
You were taught so much penis shame.
Yeah, I was.
You were. You were just taught that is the dirtiest, filthiest little acorn-looking unit on planet Earth, and it should never be celebrated, and it should never be used.
Outside of procreation, correct.
Outside of procreation.
That's correct.
You were taught so much penis shame, and I feel for you. So did you have any idea what had just happened to you?
Oh, yeah, I knew. We had sex ed at that point.
Sex ed.
So I knew about it, the nocturnal emission.
The circus cuckold dream, they're calling it. Our listeners are calling it the classic, the cliche circus cuckold dream. A study out of England found that people who have a lot of nightmares are more likely to drop dead. And they weren't kidding around with this research. They tracked people's lives for almost 20 years.
Whoa.
Somehow these people volunteered. Yeah, I'll sign up for that. You can track my everyday operations for 20 years. And the ones who had nightmares at least once a week, Ashley.
Oh, I'm screwed.
Were 3 times more likely to drop on the street like a sack of turds dead. Just out of nowhere, just yurt, and you're gone.
I always kind of thought that would be the way I go out. Something dumb like that.
Does this count as a nightmare? Because I'm trying to think if I'm giving accurate information here. When I played Doom a lot, I would dream I was playing Doom at night, going through those hallways and whatnot. Does that count?
I have no idea.
I think it's probably a little different. It's just because it was the same thing with Guitar Hero. I fell asleep to colored dots, approaching.
Here's the thing. Your real life plays into... You're the type where your real life worries and stresses play into your dreams. I'll get there in a minute. because you said it just a few minutes ago. You have work stress dreams. You worry a lot about this sideways operation that we have going on here, and so it plays into your dreams. You have a thing about Italian men and their wives.
Apparently so.
That work for the circus. It played into your dreams. And then the last one you said, you played I think everyone's had that deal where you play a video game or watch a movie, and then that night you dream of that experience. That's very common.
Mm-hmm.
It is still really interesting to me that you've never had that out of nowhere, bizarro, horrible nightmare.
Yeah.
When you finally have one, you're going to go, dude, what the hell was it?
Yeah, I've never had one where I was scared. It was more stressed. And people are bringing this up. We've talked about this before. My sister-in-law had talked about when she was quitting smoking, she took one of those quitting smoking drugs, and the dreams were out of control. And I brought it up, and we got so many texts saying, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe nightmares. I shouldn't say just dreams.
Right.
Like terrible, terrible nightmares.
I've heard the stories. You dream that you're just soaked in the blood of your victims, and you're touching yourself, and you're killing everyone in town. I've heard of those.
That's why I'm surprised that you've never had a nightmare, Josh, because some of the worst nightmares I've ever had, it's been because I've been on medication for something. And I know that you've taken medication for your epilepsy for years. So that surprises me that you haven't had any adverse side effects like
medication
that.
dreams.
Maybe it does the other thing. It goes the other way. I don't know.
Medication time, gentlemen. Medication time. Ashley, the clock is ticking on you. 3 times more likely just to up and die if you have a lot of nightmares.
That's a lot.
They say here, having lots of nightmares makes you age faster.
Oh, great.
So before they kill you, Ashley, you're just a wrinkled old rosin bag. That's what comes first, the wrinkles, they say. If you have a lot of nightmares, you age faster. Next thing you know, you're just a nut bag, just a wrinkled old nut bag. And then one day you'll be walking down the street and that'll be it.
I'm going to be honest. I thought people had nightmares a lot more. I thought everyone was like me.
Like I said, once every few months I'll have a keeper.
This person said they had a dream. They dove down 20-some feet into a pool, ran out of air, and they woke up gasping.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
This wasn't a scary dream necessarily, but it was a very sad dream I had one time. It was a couple of years after we had to put my childhood dog down, and I had a dream that I stopped by my parents' house, and they said, hey, go up to your old bedroom. We have a surprise for you. And I went up there, and there was my dog, just happy and alive and wagging his tail and excited to see me. And then I wake up, I'm like, because, that initial moment you wake up, and you haven't quite fully realized that you were dreaming.
Right.
I'm thinking, oh, my dog's alive. This is wonderful. No, it's just a dream.
I've had that. I don't remember the details, but I've had that before where it was such a wonderful dream. You wake up and go, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
This is real life. That was the life I want to be leading.
I know. I want to be hanging out with Cody.
I've definitely had dreams
That's
like that.
kind of strange.
Have you guys ever been able to lucid dream?
Yes.
What?
Lucid dream, so you can control your dream.
And fight my way out of it?
I've been able to do that once.
All the time.
Or I guess maybe a couple times here and there, but I remember one dream specifically I really had control. And in this dream, I could jump really high and kind of fly in a way.
That's cool.
And it was the most fun I ever had. I was so angry when I woke up.
When you have a great dream and you wake up, I don't care how old you get, it still sucks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you realize that that's not really what was going on.
And you want to try to go back to sleep to try to keep the dream going.
Oh, yeah, I've done that.
You think somehow if you close your eyes, I can start it all over again. It never works.
No.
Ashley, lucid dreams. Okay. I can't say that I was in the middle of a dream and I was able to control the plot of the dream at all. But almost every time I have a nightmare, I realize it and I can fight my way out of it.
I can usually wake myself up.
Yeah, you kick yourself out at 2.
I've had conversations in my nightmares before, say I'm fighting a serial killer, and I'll look at the serial killer, and I'm like, I know I'm sleeping. This is a dream. And they're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, yes, it is. Watch. And I'll close my eyes and open them, and I'm awake in my bedroom.
Oh, see, I can't control the dialogue.
It's so crazy. I
not-
love being able to do that.
I'm unable to control the dialogue of my dreams, which is all right. So here's the final bit of information on how, if you're a nightmare haver, a regular nightmare haver, you're going to die, and you're going to die ugly and suddenly. They say here it's because our bodies respond to the stress the same way they would in real life. When you're awake, stress slowly kills you. Well, it's the same when you're asleep. When you're asleep, you have these nightmares. Your body is stressed by the nightmare the same way it's stressed by your awake problems. And that's why you're more apt to have your arteries explode and die on the sidewalk. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Stress in real life is the same as stress in a dream, and it'll kill you.
I guess I feel dumb for never thinking that the stress from the nightmares would affect me.
That's not what makes you dumb.
Metal grinding, deburring Jesus said when he was on the quit smoking medication, he dreamt he slaughtered his family and put their heads on spikes outside his
Yeah. I've had
That'll
something
cause
like
a guy
that.
to want to have a cigarette at that point.
Well, because your dream is usually supposed to wake you up once you do something like so drastic, like kill somebody. But when you're on that kind of stuff, you stay in the dream.
Do you guys ever try and analyze your dreams and wonder, why did I dream that?
Maybe once in a while, sure.
Yeah. Drunk Uncle Firefighter Jesus said as a kid he had night terrors with sleepwalking. That could be dangerous.
Sleepwalking's a whole different animal, isn't it?
I've never seen anyone do it.
I had a bout of that for a while.
Yeah, same here. I used to pee places I wasn't supposed to.
I've done that once.
Yeah, just for drunken reasons, though, actually.
Oh, no. My brother had his very hot best friend over one day, sleeping over. And I guess that night I decided to sleepwalk right into the living room where they were sitting playing video games, grabbed a trash can, pulled my pants down, and started peeing in it.
Right in front of your bro and his hot best friend?
Yup. God, that sucked.
You and Dana sound like you maybe need to seek some treatment for that.
I probably do.
A sleep doctor. Of
Jesus balls.
Oh, I've talked to people.
Dr. Sleep.
What do they tell you? You're nuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More
Is
or
it
less.
medication related? Are you on medication?
Medication time, gentlemen.
Yeah, but it's happened pre me being on these medications. So,
that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few sleepwalkers and sleep talkers in my day. And, I mean, some are funny. Some are friggin' scary.
I've been told I'm a sleep talker.
I mean, there's this gal that used to work in this building who would get the hell out of bed and walk around and speak in tongues, and it was friggin' frightening. I saw it once, and it was frightening. Others, like my dad, was a big sleepwalker, sleep talker. It was a riot. He'd be walking around in his underwear smoking a cigarette, and he'd be sound asleep.
Smoking a cig?
We'd laugh our balls off. I don't know how many cigarettes he smoked in bed while completely asleep. And it was great. And he would say ridiculous things. We loved it. So there's good and bad in that the gal that used to work here, woo-wee, I could not sleep. What happened was we were all like partying somewhere. I was sleeping in a guest room, and this gal walked into my room. She was sound asleep, speaking some satanic tongue. And, I mean, it was eerie as all hell. I couldn't sleep the rest of the freaking
chills.
night. Cubby, she just walked into my room and she said,
That's terrifying.
And I thought, oh, my God.
No, dude, I don't know what I would do.
I didn't scream, but I want to. It was just effing off the charts weird. And she was naked.
Oh,
if you got it, watch it. Jesus woke up in his living room screaming bees. My heart rate was at least 200.
Jesus.
So real quick before we go, I've told you the Tom Brady dream before. I mentioned earlier there's only two nightmares. I should continue to use the word nightmares because that's what they were. They weren't just dreams. There's two that I remember that I'll never forget. The other was from when I was a real little kid. I was probably in second grade when I had this friggin' nightmare, and I still remember it because it was so friggin' scary. In real life, that day at Widston Elementary School, I had forgotten my lunch money. And my mother, when we were kids, would always say, don't ever ask anyone for money. She looked at that as the rudest thing in the world. Can I ask some money? You know, there are some kids or even adults who are just rude. So my mom was very adamant about that. Don't you ever ask anyone for money. You're not anybody else's problem, right? So I go to school. This is real life now. This is not my nightmare. I go to school one day, and I've forgotten my lunch money, and I was stuck. I'm hungry, but I don't have any money, and I was too afraid to ask anyone, can I have, at the time, our hot lunch at my elementary school was 55 cents. I was too afraid to ask it. So I went home that day hungry. And it just was it had an effect on me as a second grader, whatever I was at the time. That night, I had a nightmare where I was lying in my bed and my mother comes creeping into my room. But she's not my mother. She sort of looked like my mother, but she was green and gray and like a scary character from a horror movie. And she walks into my room and she has like a pile of gold in her hands. And she looks into my eyes and she says, "Where have you gotten all of this money?" And I did, and I'll never forget it. So something about the real life lesson that she taught me to never ask for money. And then the day I went to school but I had that nightmare. And I remember waking up the next day, and as my mother was, sitting in the kitchen smoking cigarettes, and I was a little afraid of her.
Hey, what's up, dude?
With you, huh?
Stuck with me to this day.
More anxiety than hair. Jesus said his wife sleep whispers.
Oh, yeah.
That would freak me out, too. He said she does all kinds of weird crap in her dreams.
Seen a couple of those.
No, I don't like that. That freaks me out.
Does that scare you?
Yeah.
And if they're whispering in tongues of that combo? Oh, I wouldn't like that.
I'm stressed out right now
Don't
thinking
be
about all
stressed
this.
out.
Yeah, people have texted in and say, "Hey, thanks a lot. I'm going to have a nightmare now from all this talk."
Oh, I 100% will have a nightmare tonight. Yep.
Oh, grow up.
I don't really mind them that much.
You don't mind your nightmare.
Well, you love that kind of stuff.
Sometimes they're kind of interesting.
Yeah.
They are.
I just like being able to remember my dreams.
Yeah.
So whether it's a nightmare or a good dream, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Your mind is crazy.
Yeah, I wish I could remember them more. Sometimes I'll have the feeling, like when I wake up, I'll have a feeling about something, but I don't remember what happened. I can almost never remember.
It's because all of the weed you smoke, Josh.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep, that'll do it.
I got to slow down on the weed.
93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Isn't that a religious show? With all the Jesus and Sheezus talk?
Oh, hell no.
Just kidding. They suck.
How you doing over there, Cubby?
Really good. How about yourself?
Light of my life. I'm doing all right. Tell us about the latest television shows you've been watching. I know you like television programming.
Well, one we just crushed over the weekend is called Sirens.
You crushed it?
Yeah, we crushed it. On Netflix. I didn't think I was going to like it, but it was pretty good.
I'm sorry, the name again?
Sirens.
Sirens, it's a movie.
It's a series.
It's a series.
5-episode limited series.
What else?
I wasn't a huge fan of that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I liked it because I expected it to be awful. At Julianne Moore, Hubba Hubba. Kevin Bacon, Hubba Hubba. The chick from House of Dragon, Hubba Hubba. It's pretty good.
What else? Poop Cruise?
I watched Poop Cruise last night.
No, that's on my list. I didn't watch Poop Cruise yet.
Yesterday you told us there's a new series or something out, or is it just a one-time program?
The show has a bunch of them. It's called Trainwreck.
Oh.
And so they cover a lot of different, the metaphor, train wreck and
hilarious disasters.
Yeah, some crazy stuff that's happened. And Poop Cruise was the one that came out yesterday.
The story of the Poop Cruise. Josh was the one who broke the story years ago. It was one of these. I've been on one of them. One of those fancy schmancy cruises where you go to a fun city or a tropical island, and something went wrong, and there was feces everywhere. Tell us about watching the Poop Cruise, Dana.
So there was an engine fire, and then that engine fire ended with power going out. And along with the power going out, that meant the toilets went flush. So they were instructed to pee in the shower, and then they were all given like red medical bags to do their number 2s in.
You said the toilets wouldn't flush.
Wouldn't flush.
Wouldn't flush.
Wouldn't flush. So they had to basically poop in plastic bags. Then all of a sudden the sewage started running everywhere. There was just poop and pea water, like ankle deep when you were walking.
Did anybody die on the poop cruise?
Nobody died, but it turned into, as you can imagine, people were panicking. People were hoarding food.
Why couldn't they just send out a dinghy or something like that?
Yeah.
They didn't really get into too much details. They did try to get a tugboat to pull it to Mexico, but then they just kept floating further away. They finally got a boat in there, and so it was supposed to be a 4-day cruise, and this happened on the 4th day. It was like 7 days where they finally got off. So they had spent 3 days in the poop cruise.
Floating helplessly in the ocean.
Did the people that were a part of the cruise, Dana, did they get a huge payout?
They got like an offer for a free cruise. I think there was some type of settlement. Everybody got, $1,000 or something.
Soaked in their own feces and urine, and soaked in the feces and urine of others.
That's what's worse. Yeah.
Did anybody eat it? Did they just go ahead and eat it?
I didn't see anybody eat it.
Okay, they didn't eat it.
Somebody got it in their mouth.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah. But on day 5 or 6, somebody had this bright idea. All right, these people, they're stressed out. They haven't eaten. Let's open up a bar. Let's have a free open bar for everybody. And that, of course, just led to mayhem.
People fighting.
Yes.
That's so weird to me that they didn't say, hey, we're just going to send you another boat.
Yeah.
Let's all drink on an empty stomach.
Yeah, and then boats started coming and helicopters started coming, so they thought they were being rescued. No, it was like press, media.
Right.
And then
we're taking a shot of this from our helicopter. We're going to film this, and then we got to get out of here and go to Kim Kardashian's wedding. We got to get a shot of that. So it was just a news cruise.
And one other cruise ship did go by, and they're all smiling and waving. They have no idea what's going on in that boat. So they're like, woo, you guys partying too?
Why is everyone wearing yellow and brown on that other boat? They were.
But the reason that the story broke, I found this kind of interesting. When that cruise passed by, they were finally able to get cell service by using the Wi-Fi from the boat that was, 100 yards away or so. So that's when people started calling loved ones, and then it got to CNN, and that's when people started covering and reporting on it.
The saga of the poop cruise, you can find it on your television today.
If you're somebody who enjoys the misery of others, it'll be a very fun hour for you.
Okay. I just perked up a little.
I saw that.
I adore the misery of others.
You really do. You've made that well known.
So, Josh, when I asked you about what programs you've been into, you instantly said we crushed this show.
Yeah.
Do you always share these programs with the old lady? You watch them together?
Usually she'll say, yeah, this is a you thing. You can watch that on your own. And then there's other ones where I'll just jokingly say, hey, I'll catch you up on what happens in whatever show we're really into. And she's not cool with that. I don't Netflix cheat on her, as it's called.
You don't Netflix cheat. So there are some programs you watch alone, but a lot of times you're sitting there with the wife. You like to enjoy that thing together, that type of thing together. You know what folks are getting, it says here, Josh? Folks are getting a screen divorce.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what we have, where if, let's say I'm watching something and then she'll just, look at her phone or whatever for a show I might be into and vice versa.
Okay. It's a new term, screen divorce. You've probably heard sleep divorce. That's been trendy lately. It's when you opt to sleep in different beds or different rooms because one of you snores, one of you has wacky hours.
I'm too clingy for that.
You're too clingy for that?
To have separate beds, yeah.
Ooh, it's the greatest thing in the world, Smashley. Separate friggin'
We do
rooms,
separate blankets, though.
Separate blankets.
Yeah, I think you definitely need to do that at least.
So that's the sleep divorce. The screen divorce is when I guess you do the same thing, but with your television watching. A writer for something called The Guardian just wrote about it. Screen divorce is when you don't have to agree on what to watch. You both watch whatever you want on separate screens. Well, that's usually what we do also. When it comes time for television, which usually around 8 o'clock at night, I can finally settle in and watch a ball game. And she goes to one room, I go to the other. There are some exceptions. The National Basketball Association, the Timberwolves, we usually watch together. And then, very rarely will we stumble upon a movie or something. So
I'm lucky. My wife and I, we like the same TV shows.
Yeah.
So it's very rare where I have to sit through something I can't stand.
Yeah, me and my fiance are pretty much in the in the same boat. Like we watch if there's a new show that comes out that we're into, we'll watch it together. But
my wife and I have very, very, very different tastes in television programming.
So I guess, I don't know, would you consider this kind of what they're talking about at night? My fiance has his monitor, like a computer monitor in our room.
I've heard of them.
And so he'll play his video games while I watch some dumb show.
Well, like Josh was just saying, he'll watch. If his wife doesn't like it, you'll watch the show.
And vice versa. I'll just watch like YouTube videos of White Lion from 1989.
Yeah,
so, Josh, I gotta ask: does this ever happen to you? Because this makes me mad. So we'll be doing that, and I'm like into my show. I'm watching Bones or something, and then he'll finish one of his video games. He'll take his headphones off and talk to me a little bit. And then he'll ask me questions about the show I'm watching. I'm like, okay, if you're not committed, this is not happening. I ain't got the time, baby.
I'm so guilty of that, Ashley. I'll walk in the room and say, well, who's that guy? What's his deal and stuff?
So your fiance might be playing video games. You're watching something that you enjoy. Josh is watching something he enjoys. His wife has got the phone in hand. Yeah.
Roastmaster Jesus said he and his wife, they're having something called a sex divorce, I guess.
One-sided divorce there?
I'm trying to think. Like I said, my wife likes to watch basketball, so we enjoy the Timberwolves season. Every once in a while, lots of time goes by between the two of us watching a movie or some kind of a series. I don't have what it takes for series. But we do enjoy, if there's one thing I think we do enjoy together as far as television programming, we do love a dark, bloody documentary. We like to watch stories of terrible, awful things.
Like serial killers?
In documentary form. Whatever. So we do spend most of our time when it comes to screen time, as they say. We do spend most of our time in separate rooms.
A lot of people are texting in on the separate blankets thing, Ashley, and they agree. I guess I kind of have that situation. We have the world's thinnest comforter. It's barely more than a sheet.
Yeah.
And so that's all I use. My wife has about 3 blankets on top of that. So we share that comforter, but she has a ton of blankets.
Yeah, I cannot imagine sharing a blanket. It's miserable. You get too hot. And they're always taking it, and it's just sweaty. It's
and then
too much.
At one point or another, their feet touch you.
Yup.
Get your friggin' feet off of me.
Dude, I hate
stabbed
that.
with the toenail.
I've drawn blood with my feet before.
I have.
There's been hemorrhaging. My feet has triggered hemorrhages.
I bet you get it right in the ankle, too.
Yeah. A lot of couples are getting sleep divorces. A lot of couples now are getting the new bit.
Don't you have a bathroom divorce? Where you and your wife have different bathrooms?
Yeah, we don't. I've never been in her bathroom.
Oh, you've never been in it?
No, we don't go anywhere near each other's bathroom. I thought that was normal.
Me and my fiance have different bathrooms that we prefer to use, but he still comes in and uses mine.
Really? You don't split? You don't have separate bathrooms?
No.
Oh, God, I wouldn't know the first thing about what goes on in her bathroom, and she doesn't know anything about mine either.
I still have to clean both, but...
And then there's a neutral one. I think I'm the only one that uses the downstairs one, too.
The juxtaposition between the way... So we have separate bathrooms, too. The way my wife's looks and the way it's kept and decorated and everything like that compared to the one that I use in the basement. Oh, it is night and day hilarious.
Decoration.
So everyone here except for me has a...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So wait a minute, Josh. Your wife takes a poo, and then 10 minutes later you walk into the bathroom with you.
She's never pooped. As far as I
that's
know.
right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. She does not have a digestive system. Sometimes I wish we could have a kid divorce where it's just all... My youngest is all hers because, like, for example, yesterday he pronounced it a mookalele instead of a ukulele, and I'm getting a little tired of that kind of moronic stuff coming out of his mouth.
A mookalele?
Yeah, he's like, hey,
Where'd you get that M from?
I don't know. He had a buddy who has one. He's like, yeah, Dad, I learned how to play a song on a mookalele. I was like, are you trying to say ukulele?
Dang. Well, Don Ho's been dead for years, We probably knew how to say that, Josh, when we were kids because of Don Ho.
A mookalele. Yeah, he's not going to college.
Ashley, do you like those supposedly, quote, what's the term again? Reality. Do you like those reality shows where this couple is breaking up and they're dating, and then the bachelors and the bachelorettes and the single hot babes and the single hot guy? Do you like that stuff?
No, I used to watch the Kardashians when that was hot because it's just such garbage that it draws you in.
My wife she likes all those shows. Whenever I walk into her room, it's some kind of, one side of the room is hot babes, the other side of the room is hot dudes on the television, not in the bedroom. And they're vying for each other. She loves all that stuff.
Yeah, I can't watch those because they make me irrationally angry.
She likes the Kardashians, too.
They put me in a bad mood.
Yeah.
My daughter loves all that.
I can't help but pump the brakes sometimes because these are foxy ladies.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, wait a minute, what did she just say? Who's sleeping with who?
Women, not just women, but people dating in prison. It doesn't matter. If they're dating and it's supposedly real, my wife loves that stuff. And some of it, the 5 minutes that I'll catch passing by, some of it does look kind of funny.
Oh, yes,
but
some
I can't
of the drama.
I can't commit myself to that.
I do like here. Sometimes my daughter will tell me like what's going on Vanderpump Rules or one of these things. It's like, it's kind of like the WWE for me, or professional wrestling in any capacity, AEW, etc. Like, I enjoy watching it enough, but what I love most is hearing stories about it, where people tell me the storylines or reading about it. That's so fun for me. And so I do kind of enjoy it when she tells me these ridiculous things that are happening on one of her reality TV shows. Although it's kind of annoying when all of a sudden I'm getting suggestions on my TV for other garbage like that, just vapid nonsense.
Oh.
That part kind of sucks.
Suggestions? How does that work?
Well, because it'll say, hey, I saw you watched a crap ton of the Kardashians. Why don't you check this one out?
One of them was called like Mormon wives
yes.
who smoke crack or something. I forgot what it is.
That's kind of a new one that just got let out. It's about like all these TikTok Mormon wives. I actually was thinking about watching that one because I did get pretty engulfed in their TikTok story for a while.
Am I right that they smoke rock, or what was the other side of that? Mormon wives who
I'm not sure
have crazy lives. Or
they are insane. That these ones specifically, not all Mormon wives.
There you go.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Who smoke rock.
I'll try anything 4 times Jesus. He and his wife have meal divorces. They might eat a meal together, but they're eating completely separate things. That's how it is at my house, because my wife doesn't eat food. It's all potions. She's a necromancer. She has different like potions and powders and all this stuff that she mixes together for herself.
Necromancer. Yeah, I've heard that said out loud. What does that mean?
She raises the dead with these things. She's got it's odd watching it. It's more of a
it's
more of a scientist creating something than a cook.
She puts them into her food.
Yeah,
like healthy powder. Okay, sure. That stuff is
seeds and all kinds of weird stuff.
And you know what that creates?
What's that?
Incredible gas.
Yeah, I do get gas.
You get it?
Yeah, secondhand.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right, all you procrastinators, enough is enough. It's November and the you-know-what is about to hit the fan. Time to hit up my friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning to get that furnace cranked on and get it winter ready. Dana here. November's also the final tune-up deal of the year at Standard. You can get $20 off your furnace fix when you make an appointment and mention 93X. Yeah, I know we're all hardy Minnesotans around here, and you're probably saving up to buy me a sweet, sweet Christmas gift, but don't roll the dice on your furnace. Time to prep and protect. Book that tune-up today at standardheating.com. That's standardheating.com.